Hello Galactic family. Beloved children, I am Kuthumi, your brother of love and humility, and I am here, together with our beloved Sanat Kumara, to bring to you today, the remembrance of being in the present, connected to the heart. You are, all the time, feeling influences of all the events on the outside of your being and absorbing only that which brings some benefit to you. For everything that surrounds you is bringing the energies that will influence you in your decisions and that you their beings. From the moment you feel the outer energies, you decide how you will use them, whether through the egoic personality or as a bridge to stay in your heart. But you only absorb what resonates with your inner vibration of the now, whether through your soul or your ego. Then you will always find a benefit in the experiences that will be resonating according to the vibration you hold at that moment. Tuning only occurs when you allow, because you are open to incorporate everything that happens, without filters. You absorb what is prevalent in your being. If you are vibrating in the mind by vanity, arrogance, avarice, this is how experiences will be interpreted. But if you put yourself in the heart, feeling your inner peace, then the experiences will be lived in a different focus. But it is important that you understand you will only absorb that which resonates, vibrates with you and therefore benefits you to some degree. You open yourself to what you received from outside in all places and in moments. Through the connection to the heart, which is its essence of love, the search for refuge, the lap of silence, for inner peace, you will always be protected from everything that happens around you, for it connects to the heart and establishes a fortress which will leave you involved in constant peace. Then, experiences will lead you to the lightness of life, to trust, to faith, to flow. But if you disregard this connection, you will be led by personality, by mass, by standard behavior, and you will forget your heart. Sometimes you go through situations where you need to be involved with people and events and experiences that do not match what you are. But even then, they can remain centered in their hearts, not allowed to be carried away by the prevailing thinking, by the behaviors of the mass. You remain there focused on this inner peace and allow each to absorb the experience according to its resonance, but also decide to remain in that vibration of peace, protected from external judgments and centered on the certainty that the heart will lead them to the best, their own vibration, to what is good for you, your health and your body. My beloved sons, you cannot deny what is happening inside your heart. At the slightest sign of choosing the wrong path, your heart will give you the signal, showing that this is not your nature. And in that moment, you decide how you will vibrate, whether you will remain centered in your truth, in the resonance of your peace, or whether you will be led by the human personality, and again return to old mass behaviors. Some behaviors that you were certain had already outgrown them. But they were brought precisely to understand the importance of inner vigilance at all times, to give precedence to that which resonates with the felt will, and not to that brought by its unsettling mind, which always leads to the lower vibration of what is common and normal to all. In this world there is much to be purified in the collective consciousness, and you can be the main agents of this change. Not in trying to convince how others should behave, but simply to know what resonates with their heart, and to give themselves the right to remain in that peace without demands or judgments from those who do not understand them. Simply being what they are, and allowing their beauty to shine in sweetness, peace and soft talk. What good is it, my dear ones, to force you to be what you are not truly? For what purpose, my beloved sons? You are here living the experiences you choose, but for a few moments you forget that you are the owners of your own lives. That they should always do what pleases them and that comes from the will of the bottom of their heart. And, in those moments, you again return to the old matrix of behavior, falling into the old egoic meshes of unloving behavior with yourself, the judgment of those who do not remain and still do not understand your pure state of being. You force yourself or impose, through your attitudes and looks, what you absorb from the environment. But what if only they remained in this peace, allowing each to connect with their own inner resonance? You can perceive the energies. Follow your heart. Listen to your body that so often cries for attention, showing them that it has passed the bearable point to maintain a healthy balance. And from there, allow everyone to do it that way, even if they disagree with that behavior. Allow the lesson of each one, and give yourself the right to remain in that inner peace, without judgment, without expectation, without demands, only in the sweetness of your hearts and in the silence of your peace. What a wonderful state of consciousness that is! But if you leave this state, there are the excesses, my dear ones. Often driven by the influences of other people, they are led by the wave of the moment, which leads them to the path that the great mass is following, and which we already know from previous messages, that this great mass is simply being driven by the energetic network that surrounds the planet. But you, who read these texts, already know that they only absorb what they resonate, what they allow to reach them. So they are able to decide what makes them good or simply be led by this collective consciousness, which draws them to the old vices of matter, without questioning about the best or about what is good. At this time of year, my sons, a period of festivals, of excesses, but also of much love and charity. You can choose which wave should take you and let go, but always with eyes in your heart, for each individual is unique within the great mass incarnate on the planet. It will never happen from one being equal to another. Each is in a time of learning, of experiencing, and therefore listening to the heart, you will allow it to be taken where it should be, to rise in all your experiences. So when you are in your holiday settings, remember this: you choose where you want to stay, in that pure, peaceful environment or in the mass. But whenever they choose one of these paths, they should also remember the charity of simply allowing each one to live his life as he wishes. Get out of the energy of judgment, of being better, of staying wiser, more successful, and of returning, again, to that egoic energy of judgment and competition that pervades these environments. Only allow my beloved ones to listen to your hearts, remain certain that you are making the best decision according to what vibrates, and that others have their own decisions. Let, my beloved sons, let the heart guide you. May love guide you. Protect yourself from what you are not, to preserve your purity, your peace, your health, and your physical integrity. And they live with everyone in this peace, accepting every decision and knowing that they are moments that one day will miss, because it was a beautiful school to simply learn to stay in their peace, in their heart, in their interior, regardless of what happens to them. Your return. What beautiful opportunities are brought to you in these festive environments. Have fun with those who have been brought to you, fraternize, but always maintaining that healthy peace that they are. If we do not judge, we cannot be judged, for we understand that each one has his free will as he vibrates in his heart. When you are in these moments of parties, feeling dislocated, alone, misunderstood, when you can no longer understand what you are doing in that place and at that moment, it is when your heart begins to call for your attention, when you begin to try rescue him from the connection of the mind. Give ear to this call of love, which is love itself. And in that moment, have a compassionate look on everyone and yourself. If you give yourself the right to follow its flow, even if it is to isolate yourself from all or to remain together with loved ones, radiating your peace, your compassion and without judgment, just accepting and thanking the human moment of congregation that your soul lives. absorb the energies of joy, peace, and charity that are also very available at this time of year, and radiate to all who cross your path, certain that in your hearts you will be protected from the opposing energies of the excesses that are committed. Where would you like to be? What would you like to do that would make you happier then? What is wrong, my beloved son, in following the voice of your heart? Following what your body asks for, which is often only called for a few more hours of rest, or for a lighter food, or even for a quieter, peaceful environment. Does not matter. Follow what your heart and body asks of you. Do not judge and you will not be judged. No one will tell you how you should act if you do not do this to your brothers. The inner certainty of love and peace is an unshakable energy that puts us in touch with the heart in a beautiful and benevolent, charitable and pacifying way. We are unattainable in this state of soul purity, where we have the ability to choose to remain. Or even the dear son who is alone, unhappy and would like to be among other people, why not? Why not follow the heart? Often ego, fear, insecurity hold the impulse of the heart. Often we leave our hearts enveloped in this protective cover that does not let it shine and radiate our own body in light and love. Why not use this time to share, party, laugh, dance and have fun? Why not be loving, expressing your joy in being present in the surroundings without a look of judgment, giving yourself the right to simply have fun, recognizing the divinity of everyone, regardless of their attitudes? Why not let your peace be joyful and laughing? Let yourself be carried away by your deepest desires. Live the experience that is destined. The impulse of the heart, the feeling that you are following the wrong path, doing that which does not please you, at the moment that is not ideal, is precisely the call of your rescue. When you hear this call, children, do not ignore, and follow your heart. Follow what you are feeling and live the experience, which is here to live, with total surrender and love. The end of the year parties are good moments of family brotherhood, among friends and all those who, without knowing it, have deep love in their hearts, even though we cannot understand their attitudes. But know that, in these environments, there is yes, very much love, very affection, although the conduct is not harmonious according to its judgment. There is much dispute in these environments, but there is also much love. It is enough that we can decide how to look at situations and allow our resonance to be loving and compassionate. Trust, then, many times, you create realities in your minds, possibilities of facts to occur, as a consequence of the actions you would like to follow, but do not follow in fear. Free yourself from this impulse of love. Follow the heart, for this is a beautiful time for us to learn to love unconditionally, centered on the truth of the heart, and thus open ourselves to that beautiful love that God is calling us throughout the year. This last phase of the year will be of intense experience, just as it is at the end of every year. But this time, my children, choose to do everything differently. Do only that which dictates your heart. Do not allow yourselves to enter into this mass consciousness, to remain in its silence, in its truth, in its peace, sharing with love the experiences, and only seeing love in all that surrounds them. The love you have for yourself, following your instincts and heart calls, will radiate around you and everyone can feel. And there is no better way to change behavior, if not simply to love without demand, without attachment, but keeping your joy and peace at the holiday season, doing what your bodies and your conscience propose, within the purest energy of charity for you and all those who share these beautiful festive moments. As long as all are living without letting their true desires emerge, letting themselves be carried away by the great mass of energy, they cannot live healing experiences of their problems. They will be repeating situations and will not be giving room for the cures, treatments, and releases to which they are destined to come during the experiences of this incarnation. But, on the contrary, if you remain centered in your hearts, you can draw wonderful lessons of love from these feasts, living in your peace and radiating your joy to all. Live your truth. Be yourself. Follow the heart guided by love to yourself in this last phase of the year. With this, you will be able to observe a new year being born based on freedom and the deeper realizations of your being. We are Sanat Kumar and Kapumi